Hello and a very warm welcome to Grow English Mastery. My name is Scarlett, and I am so glad you are here for what is going to be a truly explosive lesson. What happens when two of the most powerful and famous men in the world have a very public fight? It's more than just drama. It's a battle that can affect national policy, billion-dollar companies, and the political landscape. Today, we are diving into a clash of titans, a high-profile feud between the former President of the United States, Donald Trump, and the billionaire CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, Elon Musk. This is a story of how a powerful alliance turned into a bitter rivalry, playing out for the whole world to see on social media. We will explore the accusations, the threats, and the personal insults that have defined this incredible conflict. Our learning goals for today are exciting and very practical. First, we will follow this dramatic real-life story to improve our English listening and comprehension. Second, we will learn 10 key vocabulary words that are essential for understanding modern political and business disputes. Third, we will master 2 very useful grammar and language points. We will compare direct and reported speech, and we will learn some common informal English idioms that you hear in everyday conversation. And finally, you'll get some great tips on how you can practice these skills. This lesson proves that learning English can be as exciting as watching a thriller movie. We are going to break down this complex feud into a simple, clear narrative. So, let's get ready for the main event. To truly understand this feud, we need to remember that these two men were not always enemies. In fact, Elon Musk once served as an advisor to President Trump. They were, for a time, allies. But that relationship has spectacularly fallen apart. The most recent and explosive conflict was ignited by a massive new legislative package, a super bill, proposed by the Trump administration. Just minutes before the Senate was scheduled to hold a critical vote on this bill, Elon Musk launched a fierce public attack. Using his social media platform X, where he has over 220 million followers, Musk did not hold back. He called the new bill insane and destructive. He claimed it would destroy millions of U.S. jobs and strategically harm the country. He argued that the bill protected old, outdated industries, while severely damaging the industries of the future. But he didn't stop there. He made a direct political threat to the president's party. He warned, "The polls show that this bill is political suicide for the Republican Party." Political suicide is a powerful phrase. It means an action that is so unpopular or damaging that it will cause a politician or a political party to lose immense support and power. The feud also got very personal. In separate posts, Musk even made a very serious accusation linking President Trump to the disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. This was a claim that the White House strongly denied. Later, Musk posted an apology for some of his posts, admitting, "I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. I went too far." This phrase, to go too far, means to behave in a way that is considered unacceptable. This apology showed just how personal and messy the conflict had become. So, how did President Trump respond to this public attack from the world's richest man? He retaliated with equal force, also using his own social media platform, Truth Social. First, President Trump offered his own explanation for why Musk was so angry. He claimed it wasn't about policy, but about money and power. He said Musk was upset for two main reasons. The first reason was that the new bill would end the large federal subsidies for electric vehicles. Subsidies are money given by a government to help an industry or business. These subsidies are very beneficial to Musk's company, Tesla. The second reason, according to Trump, was that he had rejected a person that Musk had recommended to be the new leader of NASA, the American Space Agency. After giving his reasons, Trump went on the attack. He belittled Musk with a personal insult, writing, "Elon started getting lippy, and I asked him to leave." The informal phrase "to get lippy" means to speak to someone in a rude or disrespectful way. Then President Trump made a very serious and powerful threat. He threatened to cut the federal contracts and subsidies that go to Musk's companies. This is a huge threat. Musk's company SpaceX, for example, has billions of dollars in contracts with the U.S. government to launch satellites and astronauts into space. Cutting these contracts would be a direct attack on Musk's business empire. This feud is more than just a fight between two famous people. It is a historic clash between two different kinds of power. On one side, you have the immense political power of the President of the United States. On the other side, you have the immense technological, financial, and media power of Elon Musk, a man who controls key industries and one of the world's largest social media platforms. The outcome of this battle could have enormous consequences. Now, to better understand this war of words, let's learn some key vocabulary. Here are 10 important terms from our story. Our first word, feud. Feud is spelled F-E-U-D. A feud is a long and bitter argument or fight between two people, families, or groups. For example, the lesson is about the explosive feud between Trump and Musk. The feud between the two families has lasted for generations. Our second word, bill. Bill is spelled B-I-L. In a political context, a bill is a formal statement of a planned new law that is discussed before being voted on. For example, Musk strongly criticized the new legislative bill. Congress is expected to vote on the bill next week. Our third word, criticize. Criticize is spelled C-R-I-T-I-C-I-Z-E. To criticize someone or something is to express disapproval of them by talking about their faults. For example, the billionaire used his platform to criticize the new law. His boss criticized him for being late to work. Our fourth word, retaliate. Retaliate is spelled R-E-T-A-L-I-A-T-E. To retaliate is to hurt someone or do something harmful to someone because they have done the same to you. For example, the president threatened to retaliate by cutting federal contracts. If you attack them, they will surely retaliate. Our fifth word. Subsidy. Subsidy is spelled S-U-B-S-I-D-Y. A subsidy is money given by a government or an organization to help an industry or business keep the price of a service or product low. For example, the bill would end the federal subsidy for electric vehicles. The government provides a large subsidy to farmers. Our sixth word. Contract. Contract is spelled C-O-N-T-R-A-C-T. A contract is a legal document that states and explains a formal agreement between two different people or groups. For example, SpaceX has many government contracts. You should always read a contract carefully before you sign it. Our seventh word. Ally. Ally is spelled A-L-L-Y. An ally is a person or country that helps and supports another. For example, Musk was once considered an ally of the president. During the crisis, they were our most important ally. Our eighth term. Political suicide. Political suicide is spelled P-O-L-I-T-I-C-A-L-S-U-I-C-I-D-E. Political suicide is an action that will cause a politician or political party to lose their power or position. For example, Musk warned that passing the bill would be political suicide. Voting against the popular opinion was an act of political suicide for the senator. Our ninth word. Explosive. Explosive is spelled E-X-P-L-O-S-I-V. In this context, explosive means a situation that is very sudden, loud, or exciting, and likely to cause angry or dangerous feelings. For example, the feud between the two men has become explosive. The meeting was explosive, with a lot of shouting. And our 10th word. Consequences. Consequences is spelled C-O-N-S-E-Q-U-E-N-C-E-S. Consequences are the results or effects of a particular action or situation. For example, this public feud could have serious consequences for both men. He must face the consequences of his actions. These are great words for describing modern conflicts. Now, let's look at the grammar and language that bring this drama to life. Our first grammar point today is looking at direct speech versus reported speech. Our story is full of direct quotes, especially from social media. It's a great opportunity to understand the difference. Direct speech is when we use the exact words that someone said. We put these words inside quotation marks. For example, Musk's direct quote was, "This is absolutely insane and destructive." We use direct speech when we want to show the speaker's exact emotion and personality. It has a very strong impact. Reported speech, which we have studied before, is when we report what someone said without using their exact words. We often use the word that and we change the verb tense. For example, Musk said that the bill was absolutely insane and destructive. We use reported speech when we want to summarize what someone said or integrate it more smoothly into a paragraph. Let's compare. Direct speech. From Trump. Elon started getting lippy, and I asked him to leave. This is very powerful. You can hear his voice and his attitude. Reported speech. President Trump said that Elon had started getting lippy and that he had asked him to leave. This is more formal and distant. It reports the information but with less emotional impact. So, a good writer or speaker chooses between direct and reported speech depending on the effect they want to create. Our second language point today is learning some informal English and idioms. The language used in this feud was not always formal. Let's look at some of the phrases. To go too far. This means to do something that is considered extreme or unacceptable. Example, when Musk apologized, he said, "I went too far." To get lippy. This is a very informal idiom that means to be disrespectful or rude when you speak to someone, especially someone in a position of authority. Example, Trump accused Musk of getting lippy. To call someone out. This means to criticize someone publicly for something they have said or done. Example, Elon Musk called out the president's new bill on social media. A war of words. This is a phrase used to describe an argument between two people or groups that is fought by publicly criticizing each other. Example, the media is reporting on the war of words between Musk and Trump. Learning these informal phrases is very important because you will hear them all the time in movies, on social media, and in conversations between native speakers. How can you practice this? Try finding a short interview on YouTube. Listen to a question and answer. First, write down the exact words the person said. Direct speech. Then, try to rewrite it in your own words, using reported speech. For the idioms, try to write a new sentence for each one to help you remember its meaning. To finish our lesson, I want to share another story of a famous rivalry between two titans, but one that ended very differently. This is the story of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. For decades, Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, and Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, were the two biggest figures in the personal computer revolution. They were also bitter rivals. Their companies competed fiercely. They often criticized each other publicly. Jobs famously accused Gates and Microsoft of making products with no taste and no originality. Gates thought Jobs was often difficult and strange. Their rivalry defined the tech industry for many years. It was a true clash of titans. But as they got older, something changed. After Jobs was forced out of Apple for a time, and then returned to save it, and after Gates stepped down from Microsoft to focus on his philanthropic work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, their perspective shifted. They began to talk and meet occasionally. In a famous joint interview in 2007, They sat on stage together, laughing and sharing stories about the old days. They praised each other's contributions. Gates said he admired Jobs' incredible taste and design skill. Jobs said he admired how Gates had built Microsoft and then dedicated his life to giving his fortune away to solve the world's biggest health problems. Near the end of Steve Jobs' life, Bill Gates visited him at his home. They talked for hours about their families, their lives, and what they had learned. The rivalry had softened and transformed into a deep, mutual respect. They understood that they were two of the very few people on the planet who knew what it was like to build something that changed the world. Their story shows that even the most intense feuds can end with wisdom and appreciation. We have explored a truly dramatic clash of personalities today. Let's review our key takeaways. First, we learned about the explosive feud between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, which started over a new legislative bill and escalated into personal attacks and business threats. Second, we learned 10 key vocabulary words to describe this conflict, including feud, retaliate, subsidy, and political suicide. Third, we mastered 2 important language points: understanding the difference in impact between direct and reported speech, and learning some common informal English idioms like to go too far and to get lippy. I hope this lesson was not only useful for your English but also a fascinating look at the intersection of power, personality, and politics. You are building the skills to understand these complex and important stories from the real world. Thank you so much for your hard work and for joining me today at Grow English Mastery. If you enjoyed this lesson, please let us know in the comments. And of course, please don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting lessons. Keep learning, stay curious, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye for now.